Gonna do something a little different on this one. This is Jeff's Civic Si. It's super clean. I think I showed you this before. Is it open? I'll let you do the honors. You've seen Jeff. Super clean. These are getting rare anyway. So carbon fiber hood. Is this all wax all over the car?
Yeah, it's wax.
All right, so let's take a look at the motor here. So it's not the original motor. So tell us about it, Jeff. What motor is that? I know it's a K20.
It is a full unopened K20 A2 with a 6-speed trans, and it's about an 80,000 mile engine. Has a lot of goodies on it, hybrid, mounts, everything like that. It just needs cleaned up. Like,
yeah, it just looks messy. So that's basically what you want us to do, is go over this and basically clean up this engine bay and make it look a little bit more presentable.
Yeah, we got a few little surprises that we'll leave for camera. I drove it 100 miles today to work and back, and it, you know, drives great, stops great. The chassis is really what's meant. Like,
yeah, I can see that.
You know, if you look at it, there's like not a ding on it.
Yeah, body looks great. So we'll clean it up, we'll put some of the surprises on. Then what's going on with this car? Are you keeping it, or is this one of your cars you're going to sell?
So unfortunately it's going to be sold. I have my eye on something new, and my wife said that 9 cars is the limit. So unfortunately we got to get rid of one, and this is on the chopping block.
We need to make a hole for a new one.
Yeah,
I get it. I totally get it. So the car's cooled down. I'm looking over it, and the first thing I think I'm going to do is give it a good wash. We'll pressure wash the engine bay. You always want to do this cold. Got an idea what Jeff is looking for. He's, as you heard, he's got a handful of cars. He likes cars. He's had this one for a little bit. He did have plans to do more with it, but now his eyes are on something else. So that looks a little bit brighter. The aluminum looks nice and shiny now. So quick overview. This is what I'm gonna kind of make priority. I don't like the way this looks. This is obviously, that fits in there with an O-ring, and that's the nearest mounting point. This looks like it's going to get broken off. It kind of looks out of place. It's sitting there. It really needs to go down. We might have to build some kind of custom bracket to tie that hole and this hole together. That is just one of the first things I'm looking at. Going around to this side, this, I looked at that earlier. It just doesn't look like it's really thought out. It looks like the wire was too short, and that was the closest place they could put it. I don't want to see it to go under that mount, lock against this frame rail, kind of tied up the shock tower and made up to here is kind of what I'm thinking on this side of the car. Not really a whole lot we can do with that. Not a big deal, can be tied in there somewhere. This all looks fine. I mean, we can tie that wiring up a little bit. Brake booster, these things here, I don't like these things being too long. At least what we're going to do is trim that down, put a better joiner in there, or hide the joiner, make the joiner out of place. This over here, fuel line, first off, it's tight against here. This either needs to go to a 45 to point it in the direction that we want, or make it longer and come down and come up to this rather than this sitting kind of right in your plain view. I'd like to see it point down, make a loop under there somewhere. Back over to the throttle body area. This wiring just needs to be cleaned up, shortened, retaped, reloomed. It would look a little bit better. This wiring is fine. Bracket, I think it'd be better if we used to build like a triangle one across here, make it look more even, or bring that into this hole here, put a thread cert in there, just so it looks straight. I don't like things looking crooked, out of place. Ground, there's a lot better places to put a ground rather than a big long cable that goes from here to there. The transmission does need to be grounded to the chassis, but this just looks out of place. This is fine. I don't have a problem with this. Obviously windshield washer, not a problem with that. This could just do with being tidied up, same as here. The big loom across the back, the big wiring harness right here. This just looks like it's, you know, somebody just ran out of time and said, I need the car to run, let's go. Gotta fix that, tuck that down there like I talked about. And then a few little things along the way I'll show you as we do it. I'm not sure about the intake yet. It's off an RSX. It fits on the valve cover breather, fits the throttle body. It's not the most ideal location for the filter. It will heat soak. Maybe we might build just a quickie intake, put it over here somewhere, who knows. Don't like that, I don't like the shiny finish. Maybe we'll finish this in black or do something. I'll show you as we go, but that's kind of the things that are standing out. So I'll show you the end result once we get the system bled. It's bleeding out right now, but just to give you a quick overview, clean the wiring up around here, made the custom bracket to kick that down so it's not going this way, and it's got a spacer, it's welded all as one piece. Valve cover, look how much nicer that looks. He supplied the valve cover. The cover that was on there is from the RSX. It looks kind of yucky, so we're not going to put that on. We're going to see if he wants to buy basically the Japanese cover, which is a small one that goes this way, much nicer, but for right now we just cleaned up everything that was down there. Cleaned the wiring up back here. The harness is pushed way down there, it's rewrapped and is held in with the clamps now. That wiring is still being diagnosed because he's getting a code. This down here will be fixed in a minute. Fuel line's rerouted. Fuel line is now down and it goes with its own harness. New intake. Cleans this area up. This is a cooler air spot, so I made a new one. Finished it in black, so it kind of goes with the black and red theme that he has going on. So much better. A few extra little things we're still going to do once it's bled out. I'll show you the finished package, but looks much cleaner. This is about 6 hours worth of little TLC here and there. It takes a while. I mean, right down to this, you know, the wiring, everything's being cleaned up. We'll show you it here in a minute when it's complete.